Hello there. So a little bit of a random garden day today. I came out here with a bunch of food scraps because it's time for me to set up the next level for the worm composting bin. I have a bunch of watermelon that we just got a watermelon that wasn't very good at the store. So I want to give that to the worms, and they have eaten through all the food that I had in there from the last round. It's about, as I've said before, about a 2-week cycle. So I have about 2 weeks usually to get the worms to eat all the food, and then I'll put like the new tray on top. So let me show you how it's looking. Please excuse, I set up this area and it has slowly turned back into a storage area, as things do. Ooh, but look, all the worms are ready to get out of there. Interesting. This could be because they don't have enough food. Could because it's too wet. So I'm gonna make sure there's not a bunch of water in the bottom because it has been raining a little bit. But they need more food. So I'm gonna set up their next level of bin. One thing that worm bins do need is some sort of bedding material. I have been using leftover potting mix when I have it, which is just a good way, I feel like, to reuse that, because I don't have like a good composting space in my garden for like a big composting pile. So this works. I also really like cocoa coir. I feel like cocoa coir does really well for this kind of thing. And then I'm just gonna dump the food in here, and you kind of want to do like an equal ratio. So I'll have to add some more potting mix in here, but this was all in the freezer. Sometimes if I have a bunch of scraps, I'll just freeze them and then thaw them out and put them in, and the worms, believe it or not, will eat that all up. The more that I have been doing this process, the more I like it. It's nice to be able to make your own compost, because compost is expensive. And I feel like this way I kind of always have a little bit. And it's just, yeah, for a small garden like this, like I don't have a corner to, put a compost pile. Well, I mean, I could, but this way it's just like all compact and done. So now I'm going to do a few other little things out here. As I said, this is kind of just like a random little garden day. I want to get the garden ready and just like looking good. Check on the seedlings. Let's see what things are coming up. My peas are coming up here. I had all the pea starts in this bed, and you see they all got eaten. That was so sad, but we've got new peas sprouting, which is good to see. This is all the slug bait in there, which this is part of why I don't like slug bait, is it makes your beds look like that, which is just, not the best. I'm gonna come over here and do some deadheading. Deadheading violas is like not absolutely necessary. You'll probably still get blooms, but it really helps promote more flowers. And you just want to go in, let's see, like really close to the plant, because they have kind of long stems. So otherwise it'll make your plant look messy if you leave those long stems. So you want to really go to the base. On these I can just throw in the worm bin. They will be a perfect snack for the worms. That's the other fun part. I feel like I don't end up wasting quite as much of this kind of stuff. Get these. Just have to remember where all my violas are planted. I'm also checking in on the pond. I cleaned it out a little bit the other day, and I actually went ahead and added a couple goldfish. I think they're all hiding right now. But I see a snail, which is cool. Just hanging out on the side. That's kind of fun. Okay, now we're gonna go over here. And I added these little pieces of kind of fencing to my raised bed. So one of the things that I was finding was I have these really, really small pathways. Like, as you can see, there's not a lot of room to walk. And because of that, things want to grow into the pathways, which is pretty to an extent, but it gets a little bit too wild. So I put in these little fences, and I actually put some over here as well, to kind of try to contain it and just bring the whole garden up, because I found I was staking absolutely everything, which I don't have a problem with staking things, but it can be a little bit tricky. So this way, my thought is the plants can grow up along the side here, along this little fence. And like next year I got some so I could do it along the front of this bed as well next year. And then I popped this here. It doesn't look perfect right now, but this is one of those things that as it grows up with the plants, again, like next year, it'll look even better. And I can use the stakes to create more space so that this little coneflower, ooh, it's not looking so good. Uh-oh. I really liked this. This is one of the Caramia coneflowers. They're really pretty coneflower. Hopefully next year it'll bounce back. I mean, first year perennial, times that happens where, you know, they've been transplanted into this bed. I did plant them, you know, in August, and so I think it was August. So they may be kind of having a little bit of a hard time. As long as they can kind of stay alive, usually the second year you start to get like that big beautiful show and you really see the full potential of the plant. So I'm not going to worry about it yet, although it doesn't look very happy. I am seeing that the snake root is about to bloom, which is beautiful. That will be fun. I like this plant, I like the snake root, but every day it wilts. And I think it's just like a heat thing. Like it's too hot here for it or something, because it wilts every day, even though like we've had tons of water. I am standing, the wood chips around here, the mulch is wet, completely wet. And still it's like wilting during the day. So I don't really know. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on it. You know, give it a couple more years here, but if it keeps just like wilting every day, I may take it out and replace it with something else. Because I really don't like that like wilted look. It's just, I'm out here kind of too doing a little bit of like fluffing and refreshing because we got a bunch of rain and that tends to make things kind of flop. And I want to get everything kind of refreshed a little bit. Make sure nothing's just completely falling over, you know. Take off the tops of the basil so they don't flower. Although this is the Amazel basil, so it doesn't really matter if it flowers. So many things going on. I'm gonna have to film a garden tour soon because things are looking nice, but here, like let me deadhead. I gotta work on my filming while that is harder to do these kind of things. while you're trying to film it. You think you're just gonna come out and do it, and then it's always harder. I'm gonna throw these little clippings in the worm there, and it just, you know, the worms will eat them up. Goes right back. The last thing I've got going on is, so these are some more of these. I gotta figure out where I want to put the last couple ones of these little fences. I think they're gonna be handy. I need a couple for my middle bed, and then I might put one or two over in another space. And then I have my corn, which I harvested and I'm drying. So I'm just gonna keep this drying here. It's just drying on the chair. It's not like, you know, I could hang it up probably and it would do better. If you have the big into place, into whatever place you want. I'm not ready to place that little corn yet. I want to do a bit more like fall kind of decorating out here. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of Halloween decorating. Oh, I see his garden. He's coming. Hey, buddy. Hey, get out of here. Get out of here. He's not nearly scared enough. Get out of here. Get out of here. Have been eating my eggplants. It's very frustrating. As soon as we get past caterpillar season, we're gonna get into squirrel season. That's just how it goes. There's always some kind of pest out here in the garden. All right, well, I think I got most of the things that I needed to get done. Everything just checked in on, touched up. Now I'm gonna sit and actually enjoy my garden, which is another really important part of gardening. Just gotta enjoy your space. I've been eating my eggplants. It's very frustrating. As soon as we get past caterpillar season, we're gonna get into squirrel season. That's just how it goes. There's always some kind of pest out here in the garden. All right, well, I think I got most of the things that I needed to get done. Everything just checked in on, touched up. Now I'm gonna sit and actually enjoy my garden, which is another really important part of gardening. Just gotta enjoy your space.